we have a terrific coach to share with you this morning. She's a 2018 elite coach, a 5-star diamond coach, 28 months in Success Club. She's a Success Club 10 all-star legend, and every time I see her, she has a glow about her that is just so infectious. It just pulls me to her. So I am excited to have Artina Marie on the phone from Charlotte, North Carolina. Artina, are you there?
I am here, Michael. I'm here.
Look at that glow. See, I knew you wouldn't let me down. So Artina, we're going to get into exactly really your turnaround in the business, what you put into play, where you started to see success. But before we even do that, real quick, for those of you that don't know you, why don't you tell us a little bit of what your life was like before Beachbody and what happened to make you become a coach?
All right. So my name is Artina. Hey, everyone. So prior to Beachbody, I had been in law enforcement for about 8 years. I was at the top of my career. I had been promoted to a federal officer, and outside looking in, it looked great, but I was miserable. I just kept saying, all right, Lord, I just know there has to be more to life than this. Yes, the money is good, but I am emotionally and physically drained. But I had a great job, and I had 3 mouths to feed, and I had 2 mortgages, and I had Sallie Mae on my back. So I couldn't just quit. But my first day back from maternity leave, they let me go. They let me go. And I got home, and on that same day, a longtime friend, after I ignored her for almost a year, followed up with me on the right day at the right time. And she invited me to the business, and I said, okay, what do I have to lose? So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to go all in. And out of desperation for the income, I decided to join, and here I am.
Well, we are excited that, I have to start my video. Sandy keeps shutting off my video because she knows people would rather look at you than me. But we're excited. It's unfortunate that it came from a point of desperation, but nonetheless, we're excited that you did make that decision to become a coach, because it's helped so many people along the way. But tell me now, I know that when you started, you struggled a little bit. What was that turning point for you? How did you start to have success as a Beachbody coach?
I would say the turning point was when I decided to make it into my own voice. When I decided, okay, I'm going to come from a place that was very natural. And I knew it wasn't going to sound like the top coaches who I gained so much inspiration from, but I wanted to attract people like me. And so once that light bulb went off, I just remember getting with my coaches, and I'm not talking about like 30 and 40 coaches. I had like maybe 6 coaches back then. And I got on a call with them because it was very important for me to share my vision and my mission with them so they can go out and duplicate what I was doing. And so I told them, I said, look, I know we are different, but that is our power. Your truth, that is your power. Your life experiences, your struggle, your testimony, that is your power, because that is what makes you, you. So once you go out and you be you, you're going to attract you, and it's going to become easy, and it's going to be natural. And I was real with them. I was like, look, I don't have all the answers. I'm scared just like you, but I know if I just be myself, then I will attract people who relate to me. And so once my coaches got on board, I said, okay, I have to now go out and make sure my followers know my mission and make sure my followers know my vision. So I had to change up the way I did my sneak peeks. I had to change up my scripts, how I followed up, how I invited people, how I began to post. And, I said, okay, I'm not in the business of convincing, okay? Because if you have to convince people to join this business, you're going to have to convince them to stay. But I said, once I start to do things my way, they'll begin to gain that trust in me. And that was my mission, to just break down that barrier, to break down that guard. And once that light bulb went off, we took off.
I'm muted. Okay, I'm new at this thing. Jeff Hill normally does this, but I'll catch on eventually before the end of the call. So your business started to take off, but you had to go about that. I mean, in order to do that, you had a plan of attack, right? Like you had a plan on how to do that, how to tackle that, how to make sure that people were hearing from you and not from a person you were trying to be. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about how you go about attracting people who you know are going to relate to you and what that plan is?
Well, I have to admit, when I heard the name Beachbody, I was like, Beachbody, like everybody doesn't have a beach body. Where did that come from? And when I heard, Shakeology, I just thought about, girls on Instagram taking selfies with their Shakeology cup. And I was like, no, I don't really rock like that. That's not what I wanted to do. So I wanted to make sure that I was different. So again, I made a plan. I said, okay, T, who do you want to attract, right? I wanted to attract people who knew nothing about this business. I wanted to attract people just like me, single moms, divorced moms, people who just felt hopeless and helpless and wanted more out of life. And I really wanted to attract those people who knew about the business, but they was like, no, I'm not feeling that, because I was, from experience, I was that person. I was not drinking nobody's shakes. I was not believing at-home workouts actually work. I was totally against it. So I knew from experience that was going to be a hard part for me. So once I decided, okay, who I want to attract, how exactly am I going to attract these people? I always say, and I know my coaches can probably repeat it, that Facebook posting is your paycheck and Facebook social media is your storefront. And if you want to be successful in this business, you have to get in front of a lot of people, not just your mama, not the people at your church, but you got to get in front of a lot of people. And realize I came from a background of law enforcement. My page was on lock. Like you couldn't even type in my name and find me. So when I found out I had to make my page public, I was like, okay, so I get that. So once I began and said, okay, how do I attract these people? I started sending out friend requests. And I'm not talking about like 3 and 5 friend requests. I'm talking about 20 to 30 friend requests per day, every single day. I remember writing down things that described me as a person and then making it my mission to find different groups on social media that were linked to my likes. And I said, okay, how else am I going to find these people? So I started asking my friends, hey, if you like my post, share it. I would even say, like in my post, if this resonates with you, share it. Tag 5 friends below. Even on Instagram, I say bookmark this page, share this, tag people. I remember every Thursday, I would do a Thursday, and I would tag my new followers, my new fit campers, my new challengers, and I would say, hey, take a sweaty selfie with your water below and tag 5 of your friends. And then I would go and I would send a friend request to those friends. Now, I never sent out requests that Facebook suggested, because the only thing they were going to suggest is other coaches. And I don't need to be friends. We don't need to be friends with each other, right? So I went into my friends list, like my friends that were about something, right? Because there's a difference. And then I went into their friends list and I requested friends from there, okay? So once I got all these friend requests, I'm like, okay, how am I going to get these people to at least accept my friend request and want to come back to my page? So I said, all right, T, you got to provide some value, right? And so I started sharing everything. If it worked for me and it made my life easier, I shared it. I started doing mom tips. I started doing product reviews. If there was a sale on Aldi's on diapers, I let my followers know about it. Anything that worked for me, I shared about it. I did tutorials. I did a mom hack Monday, a tip Tuesday, a flex Friday, a spotlight Saturday. Wow, spotlight a challenger, and not just a Black girl because she looked like me, but I told her story, how she was miserable, how she was hiding behind the camera, how she's a busy working mom of 3 and she's able. And I shared her story. And so, okay, I have these people. I want them to come back. I want to make sure I provide value, because people, they relate to pain, right? They relate to your struggle, and people love to react on emotions. And so even with me deciding how I was going to get them to come back, I remember every single day in sharing that value that they connected with me. And I asked them questions, because people love to give advice. People love to know that you are real. People don't relate to perfection. So I would ask them questions that I could easily go and ask Google, but it made us friends, so that when I invited them or when I talked to them, they knew I was coming from a good place.
It's so great that you said that, because I think that there is often a misconception about there's often a misconception about what inviting means. And I think that, you talked about, yes, it's important to put up that good content, which is really important, but that's only one piece of it. The other piece is that you've got to go out and get those people to be seeing that content. I think a lot of people, sometimes newer coaches, mistake the fact that, hey, I'm posting something all the time, but no one's coming. And the reality is that you have to go out and create those relationships. And the best people to create them with are the people that are like you. And so I think all those tips that you talked about, how to find people like you through hashtags, through the hobbies and things that you enjoy, and friending those people through the friends of your friends who you already have a relationship with, and then putting up all that great content, that's sort of the 1-2 punch, right?
Right.
So that's how you're going about to attract people. So what else is part of this process, about how do you talk about the business to these people?
Well, I always come from the mindset of, I am here to just simply sow a seed. Some will, some won't. So what? Move on next. You cannot be emotionally tied to this thing, right? So I said, okay, I know who I want to attract. I know how I'm going to attract them, but then you have those people who are still attracted to you, but they are not attracted to the business. And for whatever reason, misconceptions, objections, they want no part of Team Beachbody. So I said, okay, I am going to write down those misconceptions. I don't have time. I'm not super fit. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not good with computers. I don't know a lot of people. I don't have any training. This is a pyramid scheme. All that nonsense, right? But people have them. I had them. And so I said, okay, I'm going to start running my Facebook, my social media, like an open sneak peek. And every day, along with providing value, I was going to debunk those myths in my posts. And so I naturally just talked about all those misconceptions. I chose one for each day. I said, okay, I go to my list. We're going to talk about this. And when people would ask me a question, I wouldn't say, well, let me just inbox you. For what? I need you to know that I am real. So if someone asks me a question, you better believe I'm going to answer it in the comment section, because you don't know who's looking. People will stalk your page and won't like or comment or anything, but you better believe they're watching. So if they had a question, I would answer it. And before you know it, my whole comment section was a sneak peek, and any and everybody could come and find out this is legit. Like, this is the real deal. So when I sent you that invite, or you came to me asking for the business, you didn't come on some, well, I think this is a pyramid scheme. You already know. You already know that based on my post that we're similar. The only thing that's different is, I drink a shake, drink my energy juice, get my workout on in the gym or in the garage, but you know that I am real. People say that you do business with people you like, and you trust. And I wanted people to do all three. And so that was my mission. I did it.
You did it. But yes, indeed, you did it. So before we kind of wrap up and we learn about how Beachbody's changed your life, if you could go back and if there were 3 takeaways that you want people listening to you today to implement in their business, how would you sort of top line that of 3 takeaways of what they should do?
Number 1, be you. Like I said, some will, some won't. So what? Be you. When you be you, you're just going to naturally attract your tribe. You won't feel icky. You won't feel like you're spamming people. You're just being you. Number 2, as I said, don't be emotionally connected to these invites. Like, this is a no business. People are meant to say no, but people are watching you. Don't stalk your posts. Like, you make a post, you come back, you're like, did anybody like it, or did anybody comment? People are watching. Your job is just to show up, just to be real and show up. And then the third thing is, give this thing time to work. Everybody wants a quick fix. You're looking at top coaches and you're trying to get there tomorrow. You're trying to get to Z before you've mastered A, B, and C. Give this thing time to work and make it a promise. Like, I'm going to be here next year. I know it's going to be hard. I'm not expecting it to be easy. I know I have to sow a seed. I know I have to be present, but I know if I do that and I am consistent with it, this business will take off.
Artina, you're so good. You were good at Summit. You're good on this call. I just love having you on this call. So, but tell me, so now you've been a coach for a little over 2 years. Is that right?
Yes, April, 2 years.
Okay. So tell me, how has Artina Marie's life changed since becoming a Beachbody coach? What's different now?
All right. See, don't you cry. Don't you cry. So I would say that before Beachbody, I honestly was just going through the motions. I was just living for Thursday for that paycheck, living for Friday, dashing through the weekend, dreading Sunday, just going through the motions. Like when you have that worry spirit where you just can't sleep good at night and it's just the weight of the world is on your shoulders. That was me before Beachbody. And after Beachbody, the weight of the world has been lifted off. Like, let's be honest, this is not a hard business. Yeah, you have to work hard, but you're working from your phone in the comfort of your house, right? You're sending out invites, you're getting in the best shape of your life. And so this business has not only given me that time and lifted that weight off my shoulder, but it's given me the type of financial freedom where I don't have to tell my kids, well, mommy can't do this because I don't have the money. Or I have to wait, I have to wait to the 15th. My kids, whatever they want, if they earn it, they get. And being a single parent is so hard. Like, I may make this thing look easy, but I'm just winging it most days. It is so hard. And I am raising 3 kings. And this is a single parent home, a single Black parent home. And I refuse for my kids to be a statistic. I don't never say my S words right. Statistic. I can't say it again. I'll mess it up. I refuse for my kids to be that. And so I say, this business has given my kids their mom back. That's not for me. I heard that at Summit. I heard someone say, this business gives kids their mom back. And that's what this business has done for me. I'm able to take my kids on vacations, and not only my kids, but instead of calling my parents and asking for help, I'm able to call them and say, pack your bags, let's go. I'm present, and not only am I back, but I am back and I am better than ever before as a mom.
That is awesome. So we're so happy to hear that. And we're so happy that we had you on this call. And I have to say, like, I'm looking at you on the screen and you've got that beautiful picture behind you and your shirt matches the picture. And then I look at me on the screen and I see like this gray background with a gray shirt and my gray complexion.
You're handsome, Michael. I keep telling you that.
I got things to work on. And so you've inspired me to work on all those things. And I think that you've inspired a lot of coaches today. And just those little simple tips that you gave, I think if people would just put them into action, sometimes they make this business too complicated and they think too much before they just do. And you did a great job just giving some simple tips on how people can get this engine going. July is Beat Your Best month. I hope that you're out there beating your best. And with Carl's out there, he has his new Set Your Best promotion for those newer coaches or coaches that haven't had success in a couple months connecting people. Let's take the next 9 days to do that. And thank you so much, Artina. And I knew that you would be great. You were great. You're always great. And it's great to see you as always. And with that, Sandy, we're going to turn it back over to you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I am still like reeling over this. It was so, so good. I mean, I was taking notes and I even know what she was saying, but Artina, you are the queen that's raising those 3 kings. And we're so happy that you're here. So I have an affirmation today. It says, don't wait. Today is Monday, July 23rd. Everybody, I'm happy you came to this call and you want to watch it again or listen to it again. So have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.